He was a Shakespearean actor from Wales who became one of the highest paid actors of his generation in the love of his life. He shared both the silver screen and even the stage with became a thing of legend and stories even till today. He was a Roman soldier, a lover, and even was able to play heroes on the silver screen until his death. A man who became a hero to many, and even a well known actor in Hollywood with his lifestyle off screen and on screen. This is Richard Burton, and this is his basic biography. Early life. Richard Burton's real name was Richard Alter Jenkins Jr., and he was born on the 10th of November 1925 in Wales, UK. His father was a mine engineer, and his mother was a barmaid who worked in a pub nearby his father's workplace. He was able to speak both Welsh and English at a young age. When growing up, he moved in with his older siblings near Port Talbot in Wales, where English was needed more than his native Welsh. He was able to attend primary school and then go on to secondary school in the 1930s. He was actually considered and able to study at the University of Oxford after his secondary school education, basically being to the grade and even able to carry on with his educational career. During that same time, he was able to work odd jobs just to survive and use some of the earnings towards his tuition fees. He even had to work hard due to growing up in a working class environment based on his life. Later on, he was able to join the RAF in the 1940s during the time of World War II and was stationed in his local Port Talbot regiment. Whilst in the RAF, he was able to have a taste of acting and even being tutored under Philip Burton, who was a teacher in acting at his regiment, and even working on various movie productions and theatre productions. After working with Philip Burton, he was able to take his surname and then become an actor when the war was on and even after the war. Acting career. During the Second World War, Richard Burton would spend time working on various stage performances and even make his career become his priority after the war ended. He would perform on stage to many audiences around the United Kingdom in the 1940s, becoming an overnight success and even spending time to be educated in more Shakespearean plays due to his voice being quite deep and having a sense of self-confidence within his roles. He was able to work on his first Shakespearean production, Measure for Measure, in 1944, which made him a Shakespearean actor, as well as spending the 1940s to 1950s playing in these sort of roles. When the war officially ended, he would take part in stage productions outside of the UK as well as in the United States. He was called one of the great actors on Broadway during his time as a stage performer. He was able to take that success with him to Hollywood, where they found another leading man for their movies. His first movie was in 1949, called The Last Days of Dolwyn, where the movie was actually set in his homeland of Wales. He was able to play a character who knew many characters and many people locally in the village of Dolwyn. He soon was able to become a bigger and better actor, with roles making him a superstar. Roles such as a Roman centurion in the movie The Robe in 1952 helped become an actor of Richard Burton. It, in 1950s as well, he was able to star in World War II films, where he was able to play as soldiers and even romantic lovers in these kind of films, which were quite soothing and quite hard hitting for a Hollywood action man such as Richard Burton. The star would also begin to shine for this young Richard Burton, as he would also play Alexander the Great in 1956. During the 1950s, he was able to win new awards and even awards of being a newcomer on the big screen, sometimes on the stage as well. He would continue to excel both in theatre and cinema due to his appearance as being a young, strong man who can take on anyone and anything, even in sides of war. The 1960s would see him become better than before, as he would be able to take more roles as rulers, heroes, and even becoming a director in his own movies. Glory of the silver screen. The silver screen made Richard Burton a Hollywood hero and even had time to spend conversing with actors and actresses on and off the big screen based on his performances. He was able to work with many directors who were stars themselves and was able to promote his movies and his stage performances via television or radio, with masses and masses of audiences tuning in, finding out what his next film or production would be. Richard Burton would spend time in the 1960s to become a great actor and legend. He starred in the movie Cleopatra in 1963 with great actors and actresses at the time. He played Mark Antony, the right hand man of Rex Harrison's Julius Caesar, and alongside his future wife Elizabeth Taylor, who played the Queen of Egypt, Cleopatra. This was one of the highest grossing films in the 1960s and would help Richard Burton become a well known star around the world. He won so many awards and even awards before that movie to help land a career in Hollywood, even having the same decade to help win the Academy Awards and even the Golden Globes. Richard Burton even played King Arthur on stage, which had help him have that status of being a hero and even playing real life hero people in on stage or in film. In the 1970s, he was able to take parts and even act in roles that were more real life rather than fictional. He played Marshal Tito in in the movie Battle of Sutjeska, and then playing Leon Trotsky in the movie The Assassination of Trotsky in the 1970s. This would make the Shakespearean actor become more of a superstar, as well as spending less time on stage and being more on the big screen as well as television at the same time. Working with notable directors on his films with his own inputs to making the movie productions much better and even winning awards for such progress. Yet less of his acting efforts were used in the 1980s when he took part in smaller roles and even playing as an older gentleman. Personal life and final years. Richard Burton was married at least 4 times and had 3 children. His first wife was Sybil Williams, and their relationship lasted from 1949 to 1963. His second wife was the great and powerful actress Elizabeth Taylor, who fell in love with him since the movie Cleopatra, and their relationship lasted from 1964 to 1976. The third wife was the ex-wife of race car driver and driving legend James Hunt. Her name was Susie Miller, and their relationship lasted from 1976 to 1982. His last wife was Sally Hay, and their relationship lasts from 1983 until his death in 1984. He still loved Elizabeth Taylor, and their relationship would be on and off screen. This would be shown in various movies as well as in real life. He was supposed to be considered a successor to Laurence Olivier, yet he was not able to live past the great actor. In the 1970s to the 1980s, Richard Burton would star in movies that were more American rather than his native British or English inspired films, which he used most of his acting talents for. As Hollywood was changing from the golden era to the modern era of movies, it was hard for him to adapt to this lifestyle and started to work on more stage roles. His last film appearance was in 1984 in a film that had the same name of the year. He played as an administrator for a group called the Inner Party. He would star alongside late actor John Hurt. This was the film that was chosen for him before his death in the same year. He was even knighted by the Queen of the UK before his death and was called Sir Richard Burton. Legacy and Death. Richard Burton, the man who played kings, soldiers, and even heroes, had died at the age of 56 on the 5th of August 1984 in Switzerland. He was remembered for playing such talented roles and being praised as the successor of Laurence Olivier, and would carry on acting to become a living legend in his later life. His life was cut short due to heavy drinking and smoking, but worked hard to become a superstar and a hero in his own Hollywood story. Today, many actors and actresses pay tribute on stage and in movies with Richard Burton and his relationship with Elizabeth Taylor throughout their lives. Modern actors are even inspired by this legend, and with actors who come from Wales to become actors, as well as becoming actors around the world. Sometimes seeing his relationship with Elizabeth Taylor being used in real life, as well as being parodied on television to movies and theatres around the world. He was and always will be a great legend of the silver screen, and would be one of the first Shakespearean actors to become an action star. Now, thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't done so. I'm Suki Cookie, and thank you for watching and having enjoyment in watching my videos. If you would like to watch more and would like to know more about my videos, I have put some links below in most of my videos to show if you want more of my references, and even showing if you want to research more in this topic. Thank you for watching.